Hello YouTubers. Well, I seem to have a bit more time than I often have now that my YouTube doesn't take up quite so much time, and instead of cooking in the microwave by cooking a pre-made dish for 5 minutes, I'm actually going to do some real cooking, and I'm going to cook something very simple, very basic. I'm going to cook sausage and mash. I can't do with all these recipes that have got ingredients that I've never even heard of, and dishes whose I can't even pronounce their names. So as always, something very, very simple, and as I said, I'm going to cook sausage and mash. Well, I will start on the mash, which is basically, obviously, of mashed up boiled potatoes. So if you just excuse me, I will readjust the camera so you can see that procedure. So don't go away, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. So I have boiled the potatoes and I have drained them, and I'm going to mash them. I had an instrument that would do this, but somehow I can't find it, so I'm mashing them with a fork, and that won't get a very fine consistency, but I don't really mind if there's a bit of bite in them, so I'm going to pass that as being satisfactory. I can see that the lighting is such that everything looks very red, but I can't do much about that. So I'm going to add some salt, thus, and mix that in, and then I'm going to add some butter. Now, how much you add, of course, is to your own taste, and if you're one of these people who worry about your cholesterol levels, then you will adjust it accordingly. If you don't worry about your cholesterol levels, then if you were to add some double cream to the mixture as well, then that would be even more delicious. So in it goes, and hopefully in a minute or two we'll see a nice yellowy sort of colour. There's a lot more mashed potato here than I will need to accompany my sausages, but mashed potatoes are quite a good thing to have on a standby, because you can fry them at a later date and make things like cut them into shapes of biscuit size and make sort of hash brown. So nothing is wasted. So I think that's a good enough consistency for me, and we'll go on to deal with the sausages. So I will see you again in well, I don't know how long, but a very short time. So don't go away. It's getting dark now, so the lighting is getting so much worse, but I have pre-cooked the sausages. I have boiled them for about 10 minutes so that the meat is cooked, and I'm going then to put them into very hot fat to sear the outside and get a nice golden brown colour on the skins. And talking about skins, there are so many different sausages on the market these days, with combinations of apple and tomato and spices and all sorts of things, but I regard a sausage as a pork sausage because that was what I was used to in my young days, and my father being a butcher, that is what we did. You have to rely on your butcher to give you good quality, and if he's going to produce a good quality sausage, then it should be about 70% of good quality pork, but it has to be mixed with a stuff called a rusk, which I believe is a soya or wheat produced powder to bind it together, and the skins should be animal skins. When I was a young boy, I had to work for my father to earn my pocket money, and one of the jobs I had to do was to prepare the skins for the sausages. And the skins are the guts, the small intestines of sheep, and so obviously they had to be scraped and cleaned and then put in brine to purify them, and they were the skins that we used, and they are what a good butcher would use today. So I know that mine are, and the oil is heating up. So I've taken the sausages from the boiling pan and I have dried them to the best of my ability, because if we put them into very hot fat, then there's going to be a lot of eruptions, which I don't want to get in my face or my hands. And I'm using cooking oil, vegetable oil, just because that's all I've got. But if you had animal fat, then that would be so much better. So I think the oil is quite hot. It's not quite steaming yet, but here we go, and let's see what happens. Nothing much yet because it isn't hot enough, so we'll turn that up a bit. Ah yes, things are happening very nicely. I'm also going to put in 2 slices of onion. They may develop into onion rings or they might not, I have no idea, but they will give an additional flavour, so we will let that happen, and I will I'll show you the result in a few minutes. Right, so that seems to be going very well. The skins are, I can't actually show you till I get it on the plate, but the skins are a nice golden brown, and the onions similarly cooked. So we'll transfer it to the plate in a moment, but I don't see the joy of eating incinerated plastic skins to sausages. It's much better that they be from an animal, and this is looking quite good. So one moment, and we'll go and put it onto the plate. There we have it, a nice dish of bangers and mash. The colours are looking a little bit wrong. The potatoes are not quite that yellow and the skins are not quite that dark, but it smells gorgeous and it will be absolutely delicious. There is one more thing that you might need to spice up your meal. It would be lovely if you perhaps had some English mustard or some other sort of spice, but I'm going to use the very old-fashioned HP sauce, which is a mixture of tomatoes and spices and all things nice, and that has been on the market forever, because I can remember as a child having HP sauce, and that's a lovely complement to sausage. And there we have it, with a dollop of lovely HP sauce. That is the sausage and mash dish, a dish fit for a king, and probably a total cooking time of about half an hour, I would think. So bon appetit, and goodbye. I shall go now and enjoy.